Man, this is like the 100th time I've tried to start this video. I'm so bad at these. Probably because I take such long breaks between them all and then I forget what I'm doing. But I'm back. I'm back. And I've missed out on like a lot of gains in my life, okay? Like a lot. And I've had some good gains too, but like I've missed out on a lot for years because I would do stupid shit. I would be like over trading. I would be playing short term meme coins way too often, like pump fund type shit. All because I had this like outcome in my mind, right? I was just very outcome dependent, and that never worked out for me. I'd always have goals like, okay, I gotta make like 5 grand this week or whatever, or I gotta cover my rent next month with crypto. And like, I would try to achieve these goals, and they would cause me to literally just fail and lose my money because I was so emotionally invested in it because I had these outcome dependent situations. And then it made me like overlook so much that I shouldn't have been overlooking, right? Or it also just made me very close-minded, or I mean close-sighted, short-sighted. And like I remember I would move positions often too, because like I'd think a pump was coming for one, and then it wouldn't be going, and then I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to another one. So I'd move my position. I'd maybe lose like 10% just by moving it or whatever, just because it went down a bit. And then I do it again, right? Because and then those other ones I moved out of would end up pumping, right? And I still didn't get my pump, and I'm down now like 20-30%, no pump. And then the ones that I was in before already fucking blasted off. And it's like, if I just waited 2 more weeks or whatever, I would have been in the profits. And I did that probably like over 100 times over the last like 5 years. So coming from someone who's done it so many times, don't do that. Like, don't try to chase those pumps. It's just gonna burn you in the end. It's just gonna burn you. So, and that's one of my rules here: no gambling until after the bull run. So that's the other thing about this short-term pump chasing. Like, sure, you can do it, but now is not the time to do it. Like, that's what I'm going to tell you, because the market is just like so flat right now and so down, and we're about to probably over the next 12 months or so, I'm not sure exactly, but we're going to probably see another huge run up to like a new Bitcoin all-time high, which means the whole market will follow. And then after that, it's probably going to be huge sell-offs into a bear market, which means we're going to like not have these big opportunities probably for another 4 or 5 years to like make serious gains, like 100x's across the board or whatever. You know what I mean? That's probably not going to happen for 4 or 5 years once the bear market is in. Okay. So if you gamble away all your money now on like stupid fun tokens, you're going to have nothing for these like real gains that like are more certain, I guess. Not as gambly, right? And I mean, I heard this too when I was doing this shit a few years ago, but like my brain, and I'm also like a recovering addict, like I have to try everything. And like I always need that hit, right? Like that's just how I'm wired. So I just didn't listen to anyone back then, and I just did what I had to do, and I learned a lot. I think I had to go through that, but that's just me. But like you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to do that. And if you're entering the market right now, it's honestly the perfect time to set up some amazing positions for yourself that you can dollar cost average into over the next few months, which means you put money into it, into your position, no matter the price, and you do it on a schedule like once a week or something. And then that way it averages that out if it goes up or down. But by the time the big run up comes, if you do that, you're going to be sitting in profit. So like serious profit. Or you can try to gamble away all your money, right? On these stupid little pumps or pump fund tokens. And the thing is about those pump fund tokens that you want to gamble your money on, those are going to be around after the bull run's over. Like those aren't going anywhere. That's the thing. So the market cycle is happening now, and then it's going to go to the next market cycle, which is bear market. That means everything just goes down for like years. And then once it all goes down, it just flatlines for maybe another 2 years or something, right? It's going to be a long time before we see before we see another bull run. I mean, that's usually how it goes. And I'm not going to say if that's for sure how it's going to go again, but that's usually how it goes. But this time around, we also have institutional money buying Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The institutional money should stabilize some prices a bit more, but I still think we're going to see bull run, bear market. I still think we got a couple more cycles before it gets super stabilized by institutions and retail. So that's one of my tips. Don't gamble all your money away until after this bull run is over, because then you can do it then. Use this money to make a lot of money, and then use some of that profit to gamble and learn how to trade in the trenches or pump fund. Okay, no live trading. This is my other rule. No live trading until after the bull run, which is similar. Okay, it's like when you're sitting watching the chart and actively trading. I don't like to do that much at all anymore because I just use bots to do limit orders, which takes out all emotion. But that's why it's one of my rules here until after the bull run. And like, when is after the bull run? That could be like in a year from now or 18 months or something, right? But yeah, no live trading, because it can cause you to be emotional. And also 90%, probably more than 90% of tokens just go to nothing, right? And everyone loses their money. So no overexposure. That's my next rule, which means don't put every dollar you have into crypto. Make sure you have some real money that you can live on. Because I mean, I've done this too. I've overexposed myself, and then that causes a lot of like mental stress and turmoil, and you're like stressing out about it, and you're like relying on this money to like turn into some more money so you can live with it. Yeah, not a good idea. It messes with your head, and then you start deterring, or you start drifting from your initial plan because you're getting emotional and stressed. Even if you don't like know you are, this is just what happens to inexperienced investors that overexpose themselves. And like, even experienced, anyone that's overexposed is going to get a little fucky in the head unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath. No over trading or too much screen time, like staring at the charts all day, or just like trading all day trying to get a pump. You know what I mean? I used to do that too. Never worked out. Sure, there was some days where I'd win, but majority of them I wouldn't. So it's a losing game until you like really master your emotions and mindset, right? But now I don't overtrade at all. Like, now that I got my mindset mastered and my emotions mastered, I wouldn't say mastered, but they're much better than they were years ago. But now I don't feel the urge to overtrade. So it's almost like fixing the mindset and the emotional aspect of it fixed the overtrading problem for me. I overtraded because I was emotional, right? That's the thing. And overtrading is just means you're doing too much of it. I did a lot of revenge trading too. It's like I'd lose a position and then I'd be so mad about it. I'd be like, I have to go win this back tonight. You know what I mean? And then I'd be down like another $2,000 by the end of that night. And we're like, tomorrow I got to win it all back. The next day I'm down another like $5,000. And then it's like, all right, by the end of the week, I got to win all this. And then next thing you know, everything's gone. And I'm like depressed and like borderline suicidal because I literally blew up everything. I've done that a few times. So just take it from me. Be careful out there. Yeah, DCA in top picks weekly. So dollar cost averaging, that's DCAing. That's when you put in a little bit of money on a schedule, like every week per se, when you get paid or whatever. And then it allows you to accumulate a big position size because you want probably a large position size. The larger your position size, like the easier it's going to be to take profit, you know, and you're not going to stress as much. Like, look at some of these position sizes, for example. These are wallets. This guy has more than the liquidity, this one at least. But yeah, this guy has $1 million in his position size. This guy has 534,000. This guy has 500,000. So these are all wallets for Pippin, right? The 40th biggest wallet has $70,000. That's like $100,000 Canadian, you know, because I'm Canadian. So if any Canadians are watching, that's how much that is, right? So a lot of people getting into crypto, like I see this a lot, and I was the same. They want to know which one to like get in, and they put in a little bit of money, you know, and then expect it to just hit big because like that's what they hear about crypto. But it's like, sure, that can work, but that's like not likely gonna happen. So you want to like build up a position size, okay? Because if you put $100 into like Pippin, this thing could do 10, 20, 30x, you could get like 3 grand off $100 if it does that. That's pretty good. But if you want life-changing money, you want to get like a lot into these position sizes, right? Let's say this thing's going to do a 30x, put 10 grand in there, right? That's going to turn into 300,000 if it does that 30x. So that's kind of where I'm getting at with this. And I remember when I got into crypto, it was like seeing those kind of numbers in meme coins was just like mind blowing to me. I'm like, why would anybody do that? Like that was like how I thought used to think about it when I first got in, because it just looked insane to me. Like one, because like at the time I hadn't seen money like that really before, and then seeing people just throw it at a fucking meme coin, you know? Like where's this one fart coin, for example, you know? Like this wasn't around when I came in, but if it was, I would have had the same reaction times 10. But let's see the position sizes here. Yeah, okay, look at this. $21 million in this guy's position. $19 million, right? But how did these guys get to that? How did they get to 19 million? They once were putting in like 10 grand, 5 grand, 1 grand, you know? They came in rich or they became rich by doing this in crypto. And a lot of these crypto guys got rich through doing this, right? So maybe like, for example, maybe this guy started with 10 grand and then he got a 30x, then he had 300k, and then he got a 10x out of that, and then that turned into 3 million, right? And then he only needs a 10x on that to get 30 mil. So if you maneuver these markets right, you can really get some significant gains. Yeah, mindset and emotion is like for me at least, and definitely for, I want to say most people, like that's the hardest part about becoming profitable, is like shifting your mindset and like to like being detached basically, and just like not being emotional.